welcome to another episode of Trending with Miss Trey. As you know, I'm always looking for new undiscovered talent, and today we're meeting with a dope artist that's located in Dallas. I'm gonna go ahead and let her in. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hello. I'm good. How are you?
Um, Go ahead and introduce yourself. I kind of gave a brief introduction and let them know that we have a dope artist joining Trending with Miss Trey from Dallas.
Yes, ma'am. I go by the name of Jay Humble, and I'm originally from San Diego, California. Arkansas, Texarkana is home. I also was in Mississippi, Jackson College,
Wow.
playing basketball. Um,
Yeah, I noticed that. That was a huge like a shock to me. And not really a shock because I can kind of tell, but at the same token, it's like, how did you get into music from basketball? But we'll start with basketball first. Like I know that's your first love. That's what your passion is. So how did that journey go as far as basketball is concerned?
so while I was in Mississippi and hooping, I started with the modeling. I was doing a little dabble there and dabble here with the modeling thing, and people always would come up to me and say, you have a unique style, where the way you do your thing, you real laid back, and you got the face for it. So you don't model. I was like, nah, I want to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Younger, like my pops tried to get me to do the modeling thing too. He tried to start me young, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna be rocking no heels. Yeah, boys. And so like as I got, older, I started to understand what really modeling was. And it wasn't just
Mhm.
a runway. You could do magazines and, etc. So I gave it a try. And I would just, do little things here and there for the brand. And it just kind of like went from there.
That's dope. That's dope. So, like in the modeling aspect of your career or your journey, how did you tap into that? Like, I know you said that your father wanted to tap you in early, but how is it that you actually gave it a shot? Outside of basketball, because being a basketball player takes a lot of time, dedication, drive. You very very focused. So like, how did you pivot from playing basketball to doing modeling and doing print?
So when I moved to Dallas 3 years ago, I had a guy from the radio station. He was a DJ, came up to me and he wanted to do an interview with me. So I was like, okay. I said, well, I don't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, because when I moved to Dallas, I was actually playing on a semi-pro team. And so
Okay.
it didn't work out. And so I just took the chance to see what he was, talking about. And so he started introducing me to different people. And then from there, I was like, okay, this might work. And I was rocking the afro. So that was
Okay.
set me apart, and it was unique to everybody because I was rocking the afro at the time. And so somebody introduced me to an agency, and so that's when I start like meeting different photographers within the city, and start meeting like stylists, and it was like, oh, I'm like, okay, everybody putting this stuff together for me. Like, it's pretty cool. So I'm like, let's try to make it work. So I was able to like work with Solange on a music
Wow.
video. I was able to do that. I was able to do print work and be in a magazine. So I've done a couple of things. So when I seen that it was taken from there, I was like, wow, like I can really do this, you know.
Well,
And I
I will say, looking at your images, you do photograph very well.
thank
It looks like you know what you're doing. But I will say, you like your dope. Your images are very dope. They're very clean, crisp. The style is very, unique. I will say that you give me a little Dej Loaf vibe. But I will say, like, you're dope at what you're doing. So keep doing what you're doing.
thank you.
Um, so being a PK kid, let's talk about that.
Research.
Being a PK kid, and I know, like you said, you were doing basketball. Your father wanted you to tap into modeling. Were you always singing in the church, or is it something that like you were in the background and kind of wanted to sing, or how did that work out?
Music always been a part of me, but that was something I did not want to tap into. And of course, being a PK kid, I didn't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get up in that choir, you gonna praise dance, you gonna whatever we need you to do, you're gonna be there and do it for us. You know what I'm saying? Because when my parents started their church, it was just us. So
Okay.
that was, you know what I'm saying, that's my roots. And I even started in a rap gospel group. I was the first
Wow.
female singer in that group, which a lot of people don't even know that. It was called GFS, and
Well, we get exclusives.
yeah, a little bit. So, but I never seen myself doing music, which is crazy. And so when I tapped into taking music serious 2 years ago, I just was like, let's do it. Like it took me out of my comfort zone. And I have a voice, so it was just like people need to hear my voice. But you know, it's more than music to me. Just being able to be that example that you know whatever you put your mind to, you can do it.
I love that. I love that because, like, watching your journey and reading about your journey from like being a PK kid, being in a church choir, growing up with your parents being pastors, to now playing basketball, to tapping into modeling, doing print work as well as being working with Solange. That's huge. So when you pivoted to the music industry 2 years ago, what was that feeling like of being uncomfortable but going forth with it? Because a lot of people feel like they don't want to do it because they're not, it's not their comfort zone. And what I always say is your biggest blessing is out of your comfort zone.
Yes, ma'am. I think with me, it was more of fear. Like I knew I had a little singing tone, and then when somebody asked me, you know, you don't want to do music, I was like, no, because I didn't have the confidence. And I think
Got it.
confidence, it takes you a long ways. Like you have to build your confidence. And so I just pretty much had to just work on my voice. So all last year, I was just in grind mode, working on my vocals and just being in that go mode to say that, hey, you know, if I really want to do this, just put the work in and some good will come out of it, which you just put the work in. So, you know, I just give a shout out to my team, you know, helping me vocally because I didn't came a long ways from dropping my first track back in 2017, 2018, just giving it a try. I wasn't really taking it serious. And when I did
Okay.
take it serious, it was like, okay, yeah, I just work on my voice, keep working on it, even up until now. We're gonna do some things.
That's dope. That's really dope. I noticed that before you dropped your EP on December 25th, you had a song Whiskey on Ice. What
Man,
was the creative behind that and the visuals behind that and like everything like kind of folds together, and I salute your team because they put it together well for you.
thank you.
But what was the creative process behind Whiskey on Ice?
So when that song was presented to me, it was more of Jay, are you comfortable with, you know, with it, what the lyrics are talking about, which is he say, she say. I was like, well, I like to live life on the edge, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of like being able to really tap into being comfortable with my sexuality. And so with Whiskey on Ice, it kind of like took the cake. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And with the creative process, with the visuals and all that, you know, shout out to the team for that. Like it was on point. Everything was on point.
And being that you said, being comfortable with your sexuality, have you had any pushback with that as far as pursuing your career in the music industry as of yet, or from family or friends?
No, you know, when I was like my teenage years, it was difficult with being a
Okay,
PK kid. You know what I'm saying? And,
right. That's why I asked.
and so I was really dealing with identity. You feel what I'm saying? I really know
hmm
who I am. Um, and as I got older, going into college and really just accepting Jay for who Jay is, and not really worried about what people think of me. And when I finally got that part, it was a wrap. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right. Knowing who you are is the
Yeah,
biggest thing with
like,
being in the industry or anything you do, like whether it's music or modeling or whatever the case may be. I'm being able to identify of who you are, what you want to present, how you see yourself is a big aspect in that because if you're not comfortable with who you are, the world's not going to be able to, tap in and identify with you.
yes,
So
ma'am.
I'm glad that, you were able to, get that part and have the confidence to pursue your career. And I salute you for that. That's a big step. But let's tap into your music influences. I noticed we have an influence that we both kind of vibe and both kind of like or whatever. Tiana Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it about Tiana Taylor that is so unique for you, and what makes her one of your influences?
So with Tiana Taylor, what I admire so much about her because it took her 10 years. And with her being in the industry that long, and you'll be like, she should have been on. But she didn't have her
Right,
break until the Kanye West video. And that just shows you right there, like you can be around the circle, you can be around the industry, and like people still don't notice you, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so I was tapped in with Tiana Taylor when she was just on SoundCloud.
right.
didn't
That part.
and didn't know who Tiana Taylor was. And so for her to like finally get her big break with Kanye West was dope. Like it's just like okay, 10 years, like like she was with it.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you said Tiana Taylor, because I feel like in the industry everybody wants to kind of clone and be someone else or be like someone else, and Tiana Taylor lives her life as this is me, except me, and this is my music,
Oh
and
yeah,
she comes with the product, like she doesn't ever undeliver.
everything it's a go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of your other influences? Like I say, I feel a Dej Loaf kind of vibe, but what
And
are some of your other influences?
Chris Loaf is one. Tiana Taylor, Chris Brown. I love me some Summer Walker, Janae Aiko, Tank.
Okay.
Just that little song.
Okay, so you named a lot of current. Do you have any people that are like older legends that you might, kind of tap into, or like when you do your creative process, you listen to?
TLC and Aaliyah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you know what you're listening to.
And Left Eye, with TLC, it was the swagger for me.
Yeah, yeah.
They could switch it up, and you don't know which way that you was gonna get with TLC, and they was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So, and with
So
Aaliyah,
if you were able to work with one artist, whether it be past or current, who is that artist that you would work with?
Tiana Taylor.
Besides Tiana, because I don't even do music, and I'm just like, how can I tap in?
No, I would really love to work with Chris Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a creative genius.
yeah,
Yeah,
that would
he's
be
a creative genius. I believe, like, even outside of music, he still is creating, like whether it be his art or whether it be his clothing, whether it be, someone else's vision that he's putting, effort in and bringing to life. So like, I agree. I mean, I see you're doing your research.
yeah.
So your EP that you dropped just on Christmas a couple months ago is hitting the streets. How did you, create that process, and what was your creative as far as putting that EP together?
It was a J Humble experience. I feel like I had to. It was a reflection of everything that I've dealt with, and I was able to let it out. All these emotions and expressions that I had been dealing with from the past, I was able to release it in my music. So when you listen to J Humble self-titled EP, it's relatable, And it
Okay.
started with me first, and I said, well, I know for me to have a voice to put how I'm feeling, somebody gonna feel it.
Right.
Sometimes people I feel like is scared to show their emotional side, or they're scared to say how they feel. And I want to be that person. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Get it out
I
your
salute that.
room, but
I
get it,
salute that, because
move on.
people get stuck in their head. They think, okay, maybe someone may not want to hear that, or maybe someone can't relate to that. But it's that one thing that you may think that you shouldn't say that everyone relates to.
Right, 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 right.
So I listened to your album. It's very dope. I love vibe. It gives me that, like, that chill, like it's a good track. What is one of your favorite tracks that you enjoyed creating? off of the album?
Really enjoyed creating was Unwind. Yeah, Unwind was really dope. I think because it was more of it gave you that slow, and it also gave you that upbeat, and then we're gonna break it right back down. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like an urban type feel with Unwind. I really enjoyed doing that one.
And who are some of the producers on that track?
We're gonna give a shout out to Nazi. We're gonna give a shout out to King Louis, Wendell Lockhart, Cliff.
Okay. Well, that's dope. Yeah, there was another track. It wasn't on this EP, but Cut Ties. That vibe was just different, but it was dope.
You like Cut Ties?
Yeah, it was different, but it was dope. Like it was like something that I could hear on the radio.
Okay.
Like I definitely could hear that on the radio. Who is that? Who is the artist on there with you?
M Lane. Shout out to M Lane Photography. It was that song came about because we both was going through some things at that time. Ready to cut ties with somebody, you know?
Basically. Time to go.
Down. It was cool. That was a cool process too.
Okay. So what is it that we should expect from you coming forward? Anything new that you have coming up? I know like right now we can't tour and concerts and all of that, but do you have anything coming up that we need to tap into and make sure we keep our eyes locked on you?
I'm shooting number of visuals right now for you guys for the whole album. So ready to, tap in. We just got done shooting Vibe on Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot we about to get ready to do, and I'm also about to get ready to do a listening party for the public.
Okay.
Do some meet and greets.
Oh yeah, because y'all are open now.
Wide open.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's dope. But yeah, like I said, your visuals are really dope. So I'm excited to see what Vibe is gonna look like. And when should we expect to hear about the listening party? Is that something soon, or still in the works, or?
It will actually be soon. Less than a month. Y'all be getting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have to let us know when the listening party is so I can shout it out on my platform, as well as post your flyers and stuff like that, or what you have going on. But I am gonna put you on the spot. I put everybody on the spot when they come to Trending with Miss Tre.
All right, give it to
me. Let's hear a little bit of something. It could be something freestyle, or you can just something off your latest EP. I definitely want to hear if you got those vocals.
Okay, bet. We can be the perfect couple, but where's the thrill in that? Just when I think we go flat lines, we get a beat again. Never knew heartbreak, how we doing causing it. 1 minute we own it, 1 minute we outfit. I treat everything like subliminal when it comes to you, cause who the fuck else is you talking to? We draw the line, minute and cross it, twist it too often. Now we can't tell the difference, cause we so toxic, babe.
Oh, okay. That's what we doing?
A little dabble.
Okay. just a little bit of something. So before I let you go, what was it like to hear your song on radio? What was that first, time you heard your song on radio? How was that experience?
It's crazy because it's like you really doing it.
Like we out here.
Like, and it's like I'm not even, you don't even really kind of like be looking for that, because it's like I'm just being the artist that I am, being humble. So it's like to know that other people are tapped into my music and people are really showing support. It means so much. It really does.
Well, I will say keep grinding, keep working, stay dedicated to your passion, be you authentically, as Tiana Taylor would tell you. Be you. Be you and keep doing it, and if you have another project coming up or you want to tap back in and turn it with Miss Tre, feel free to reach out and give us the exclusives.
Will do. I appreciate
you. Thank you for being a part of Turning with Miss Tre, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Already. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got me going